I thank you too. You got the bid. 13,000.
Here with Bob Teel, and we're talking about an auction set for Tuesday, August 6th at 2 p.m. at the Teel Auction Gallery, 1101 Allegheny Road, Mount Bethel, Pennsylvania. Now, Bob, we always say it's a nice sale, but this looks like a very unusual sale.
It is an unusual sale, Leo. We have some exquisite items mixed in with a lot of everything else.
Okay, we're going to get into some items, including a little bit of a history lesson here. Let's start with that dining set, but that's part of a larger group. You have several pieces. How are you going to handle that?
This all came from one consignor. It was her personal dining room set, which was custom made for them. She's asked us to put this up. There's an open top wall cupboard, 8-foot stretcher-based table, 8 hoop-back chairs. There's a raised paneled sideboard. We're going to put these up individually. We're going to add this all together and offer this as a group. If they don't top it, we will sell this off as units.
I saw a very nice ring.
Yes, this is a marquee cut diamond, great color, 1.18 diamond ring in a 14-karat gold setting.
You were showing me some very interesting and old toys. Perhaps the most interesting were the things you told me were cap bombs. What is that?
Around 1900, 1890, 1900, the kids all played with caps, cap guns, and cap bombs. We have 7 cap bombs. 3 of them are figural cap bombs, and they would put a little cap in it, throw it on the ground, and it would explode. And these are done in cast iron, so they could use them over and over again, obviously. 2 of them are presidential, one being Washington, one being Abraham Lincoln, and the other figural one is a dog. And then 4-barrel cap bombs all around the turn of the century. Very, very interesting.
And among the toys, 2 of the other interesting ones, you have a bulldog boot jack.
Yes, it's a cap gun that unfolds, and it's a boot jack, a bulldog toy gun boot jack. And then we have many other cap guns, a Scout. We have all kinds of Texas cap guns. In the toys, we have a brass toy car mold. This was out of Trumatic and Stroudsburg. We have some Trumatic toy cannons and other toys that were made by them, an excavator. But the car mold is very interesting. It's solid brass. This was their mold for doing antique toy cars.
Before we leave toys, the other thing you pointed out was a merry-go-round.
Yeah, we have a child's merry-go-round. This is an outdoor piece with 5 little scooters on it attached, and the kids would round and around and around. It's really quite nice. Haven't had one of these.
Before we get to the actual rifles, you have some parade rifles.
Yes, there's a dozen or so parade rifles, and these are just copies. They're not real rifles, but they're copies of guns that they would use in the parades and the centennials. These are old copies. They use them in some of the local parades around here.
Winchester rifles?
Yeah, there's a Winchester 94-32, and there's a nice rifle with a scope on it that's very, very nice. And then an old Italian bolt action rifle.
One interesting piece you showed me was a cane, but there's more to it than just a cane.
Yes, around 1900, they actually put things insides of canes, and this cane actually has a map inside of it. So the person walking around the city or walking around his town could actually pull out a map and see where it was.
And some other interesting pieces are you have some old Spanish-American War or at least 19th century military pieces. What are they?
Well, the Spanish-American War, as you know, only lasted for a few months. This fellow was in it. We have out of his mess kit, the knife, the fork. We have his belt buckle with a big eagle on it, a pouch, looks like a shot pouch, and a tin soap container. And there was a note in there where he had served with Lieutenant Buttle, who was connected with Teddy Roosevelt in the Spanish-American War. We also have a sword, what we're calling sword, but it's really a long bayonet that is signed and dated 1872, obviously before the Spanish-American War. But this was in his collection. He probably used it in the Spanish-American War.
Some interesting trains.
About a number of years ago, we sold a huge Ives collection, and now we find 2 more cast iron wind-up trains with the pull car behind them. Very, very nice. I think they're Ives. I believe they are.
Shoemaker dome top trunk. What is that?
Most unusual. It came from this very property. There was a house that was located on this property many years ago. This was an heir to the Shoemaker family who had our very auction property. He procured that from the house many years ago, and it's signed Shoemaker on the front. And that's the house he got it from.
There's an old butter churn?
also from the Shoemaker family, and there's a glass butter churn and a wooden one.
And also I saw a nice settee.
The hoop back settee is from this lady's home that has the dining room set. We are just going to offer that individually without being part of the dining room set.
Toy steam engine. Very small.
Yeah, this toy steam engine, I tried to put a ruler alongside of it so that you would know how tall it really is. Hard to find those little miniature steam engines anymore.
How do you plan to run Tuesday's sale?
Tuesday's sale, we're starting at 2 o'clock outside, weather permitting, of course. Hundreds and hundreds of box lots, which we should go through. We'll get into the what we call the meat of our sale at about 5:30.
That's Tuesday, August 6th, 2 p.m., Teel Auction Gallery, 1101 Allegheny Road, Mount Bethel, Pennsylvania. Pictures and more at www.teelauctions.com.